So you've probably seen this floating around online. This idea, this blueprint for starting a t-shirt business powered almost entirely by AI. Well, today we're going to pull it apart, piece by piece. We're going to look at the exact steps, the tools they recommend, and the big idea behind this really compelling pitch.
It all kicks off with this number right here, 58,000 rupees. Now, the source material says this isn't what you make in a month or even a year. No, this is the potential profit you could supposedly make in a single day. So the big question is, how on earth is that supposed to be possible?
And this is the hook. This is the dream they're selling. It's that classic passive income fantasy, right? The idea that you can literally make money while you sleep, with no inventory, no boss, just an online store doing its thing. It's a powerful promise, so let's dig into the mechanics of how it's supposed to work.
At its heart, the pitch is all about automated income for everyone. The promise is that you can do this, even if you have absolutely zero design experience or even any money to start with. So let's walk through exactly how this methodology is laid out.
Okay, first things first. What's the engine driving this whole thing? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a combination of two really powerful ideas: artificial intelligence, of course, and a very specific kind of e-commerce model. And that model is called Print on Demand, or POD for short. Basically, it's a system where you, the store owner, never have to physically touch a single t-shirt. When a customer buys something from your website, a partner company prints it, packs it up, and ships it straight to their door. You just collect the profit. And this isn't some tiny niche thing. The source points out it's a global industry worth over $10 billion.
And this, right here, really shows you the appeal. This is where the blueprint says the magic happens. Think about it. With the old school way, you'd have to buy hundreds of shirts up front, hoping they'd sell. You'd have to pack boxes and run to the post office. This model, it gets rid of all of that. No inventory, no upfront costs, no shipping headaches. It's all automated.
So, the big question, how do you actually do it? Well, the source material breaks it all down into a really simple three-part formula. Let's take a look at the actual roadmap.
And here it is. The entire blueprint comes down to these three things. First, use AI to come up with your designs. Second, use AI to build your online store. And third, market your stuff for free. You kind of see a theme developing here, right? AI is doing all the heavy lifting. Let's break each one down.
Okay, let's start with step one. For a lot of people, this is the biggest hurdle, the actual design process. I mean, what if you can't draw? The blueprint's answer is, it doesn't matter. You just use AI to completely skip over that part.
And the tools they recommend are pretty straightforward and free. First, you hop onto something like ChatGPT and ask it for ideas. You could type, generate funny t-shirt slogans for dog lovers. Then, you take your favorite slogan over to a free AI image tool, like Nano Banana, and tell it to create a design around that text. And boom, just like that, you've created what the source calls your very first digital asset.
Now, this is a really important piece of advice from the blueprint. Do not try to sell t-shirts to everybody. Instead, the real strategy is to pick a specific community, like dog moms, or people who are obsessed with cycling, or fans of a certain video game. The thinking is that creating something that resonates emotionally with a small, passionate group is way more powerful than making generic stuff for the masses. All right, so you've got your AI-generated designs ready to go. Now what? Where do people actually buy them? That brings us to step 2, building the online store itself. And you guessed it, and AI is going to help with that too. So the blueprint suggests using a tool like Hostinger's AI Website Builder. And this is pretty wild. You literally just type in a description of your business, something like, create me an online store that sells funny t-shirts for dog lovers, and the AI builds out a whole website for you. Then, you just connect a print-on-demand service like Printful, and your store is officially linked up to the factory that will print and ship your orders.
And that leads us to the final and, let's be honest, the most important step, marketing. Because you can have the best designs and the slickest website, but if no one sees it, it doesn't matter. The source says this is where most people get stuck. So the solution they propose is a strategy that costs $0. The whole strategy revolves around organic marketing on social media. We're talking Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, Pinterest, that kind of thing. The blueprint's advice is to create short, catchy videos that actually show the AI generating your designs. The idea is that the process itself, watching an AI create art, is fascinating to people and can grab their attention.
And to prove this works, the source tells a little story about a student named Ria.
Apparently, she followed this model and made her first sales within a single week. So what was her big secret? What did she do that actually works so well?
And here it is. It wasn't some complex, expensive ad campaign. It was just a simple, authentic, and honestly pretty cute video of her dog reacting to a t-shirt that was made for dog lovers. That one video apparently hit 1 million views, and the sales started rolling in. The big takeaway here is that creative, relatable storytelling can totally crush a big ad budget.
So, after all the steps and all the tools, what's the real lesson here? Well, beyond the tactics, the blueprint argues that success really comes down to a specific way of thinking, a certain mindset. And this is really the core message of the whole thing. The argument is that these AI tools, they're just tools. They're available to everyone, which levels the playing field. The real advantage, according to this philosophy, isn't having the tool, it's having the guts to actually use it, to experiment and get started before everyone else does.
And that really leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. As AI makes it easier and easier for anyone to create things, what's the skill that actually makes you stand out? Is it having the most brilliant idea? Is it executing it perfectly? Or is it about telling the best story? This blueprint seems to suggest that while you need a little of all three, maybe the biggest advantage of all is just being the person who decided to start today.